Hello, my name is Anna Obrecht, and this is a future look into human resources. This presentation is for my Management 295 Human Resource Management course with Dr. McClure, Pierce College JBLM Online. So I want to start off by mentioning a couple of things. That my information was found primarily from a couple of YouTube videos that I found online and also from sailor.org. And that I also wanted to mention that human resources actually began in the 1930s to the 1940s, which is something that we will be taking a look at now because as I was looking into defining what human resources is, has been, and is continuing to be, I think the best definition came from sailor.org. And it states that human resources is how organizations strategically allocate their most valuable resources. And I thought that was very fitting to what human resources does, what they're entitled to do. And they do this by carefully selecting the right people to fill the right positions in order to be the most productive for the highest success of the company. They also do this by having a highly capable, experienced, and knowledgeable team of managers that strategize and create together. Also, by following laws like Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and creating diverse workplace cultures that stand by these core beliefs. And lastly, they do this by providing essential and fundamental trainings to further capacitate staff. So as I mentioned, in the 1930s and the 1940s is how companies decided that it was important to have a department that handled specifics in regarding to human resources, and that's where HR kind of developed from. And since the beginning, their role, in a nutshell, has been to strategize, plan, select, and develop. So strategizing includes recruiting, interviewing, finding the right people for the right positions, and placing those job descriptions out there. Knowing exactly what the company is needing and who they need exactly to fill in those positions. And as they plan, they are following EEOC rules and regulations. They're also trying to see the best ways to continue diversifying the workplaces, the companies and the organizations that they handle, because diversity is one of the biggest priorities that human resources have. They also are in charge of selecting the right people. As I mentioned, human capital is very, very important, not only for human resources, but for the companies in a whole. Attracting the very best in talent to be able to fill in the positions for the companies. And also in development, we know that HR is who supports employees. They are the go-to people for all employees, existing and new. And they are also where the employees who care to grow within the company can go seek assistance for career goals, whether they be individual goals and including the goals of the company or the organization that they work for, and begin career planning for those goals and reaching them, finding reward systems, reward structures for them to be able to be motivated enough to continue in their career goals and in their career planning. Also, part of the role of human resources is managing performance. As they do performance management, they are setting high expectations constantly, and not settling for any less as it regards to hiring the right people. And they also work together in setting goals and setting, not only setting those goals, but rewarding, or finding ways to be able to reward employees once those goals are reached. They are also involved in the safety within the company as they try to assist the company to follow all sorts of OSHA rules, and they try to promote healthy lifestyles and to prevent work-related health problems, which in the long run also not only helps out the company, but it helps out each individual employee. They formulate compensation programs for all employees, all staff members, by creating very attractive benefit packages. And they also try to formulate, as the new laws do change, new types of reward structures that, again, would motivate employees to continue and to work harder and to progress within the company. As far as human resources concerns, they want employees who are highly professional and productive within the company. They also handle workplace relations. So if not handled properly, these usually turn out into unions, which is something that human resource teams are very knowledgeable in handling as well. And they will also maintain ethical practices within the workplace, whether it be from the CEOs to the newest hire. They want to maintain an ethical culture within the workplace, which I think is super important. There are some HR focuses that have been placed since the very beginning. Again, I want to mention that HR began in the 1930s, 1940s, and there is some practices that still are hanging on as far as today. And they began by focusing on administration, by managing processes and work-related labor contracts, also practices by training for employees, and handling compensation packages as well, how to pay employees. And they strategize by designing fields and focusing on trainings and development for all sorts of, not only the employees, but everybody that is part of the company. So there are some next steps, because this is how HR began, that looking into the future, HR is looking into seeing how they can think outside of the box and look into the future, like I said. So their next step is to basically go outside of the company. So they're looking into customers, into consumers. They're looking into stakeholders or investors. They're looking to communities and families, those people that are now, since we have social media, people that are following their growth as a company or an organization. And they're also looking into assisting in government agencies. And this is more specifically for those companies that do decide to grow internationally and that are working globally. It's very important for human resources to be able to have a good knowledge of what the rules and regulations are in other countries where they are also working. And we will start by connecting the outside with the inside in our next presentation piece.